Hey, it's Saturday night, and what's up, Sassy? Smack that Sassy. Smack it real good. So, sorry, starting late. I'm sitting here chilling out to my 80s music, holding out for a hero. Song's ageless. I love that song. And remix, yeah, really don't do it justice. So, I'm the chill in the rain, I'm the storm and the flood. I mean, it's a great song. So that's all I'm allowed to play without getting in trouble, I think, with, with YouTube. I hope everybody is having a good Saturday so far. We got Shelby here. And yes, happy Midsummer's Eve. Doing readings for that this evening. Got a couple books to just kind of chill out and relax and talk about something a little fun. I brought my a book that I won during one of the shows. I think it was Selena who had Deborah Zakow on, and Deborah was giving away books, and I happened to be the lucky one of the lucky ones to win a copy. I haven't had a chance to read it much, but I was kind of thumbing through it, and I thought it might be fun just to take a look. Oh my God! Did I really just say Selena? And she pops into the chat. Hello, my dear. I think it was your channel that I won this. I've just been, I'm not good with numbers, but it's very interesting. And I haven't had a chance to look at it, but I thought it was fun to maybe kind of poke around and see doing dishes. See now, when I cook, Shan cleans up after. So, but do have to watch. I don't make too much of a mess because sometimes I'll hear them out there going, Short Circuit. Yeah. I don't think I saw that. Not big on movies. Um, but yes, and there's Selena's info. And while Selena's here, and we've got Jax's info for Selena, she is joining Alice and I. Sorry, just drinking some water. So Selena is joining Allison and I this Wednesday to talk about reincarnation, past lives, and her connections with Gettysburg and the work that she's done there. So looking forward to that. And of course, noisy cars going by. I might have to close my window, but hopefully not. We got a nice breeze coming in. So yes, we got 5 people already watching, so I love that. Let's see, maybe I should go to Boston and blast that song for the Scots. Oh boy, hero, yeah. I cannot believe that was. Someone was just saying that record is like turning what 40 some years, and I'm like 40. I was like 13 years old when that movie came out. I was 12 going on 13, already 13. And that was 84. So, yeah, I don't care. I was listening to my 80s favorite playlist. Before that was Safety Dance. And howdy, Gerald's popping in to say hello. What's going on, Stash Man? And let's see. So, wanted to share, besides her book, so I haven't gotten very far. I poked through some of it, and I'm reading a little bit at a time because I bought some art books, I bought some tarot books, and I'm really enjoying tarot and the psychology of the soul. And it's by Mariana Lewis, excuse me, or Mariana Louis, or Lewis. So it's basically exploring the archetypal mirrors of the psyche, and it's really good. Sometimes it takes me a while to get through a book because I have to reread it several times to be able to get things to um, was it amalgamate? But yeah, it's all connecting to Jung and depth psychology. And she actually has some wonderful like sayings and like poems for certain chapters. And when did this book come out? This book came out in I can't remember where I saw this. I don't know if this was featured on an Instagram account or somebody's channel. 2026, so this is brand new this year. Wow. Um, and it's dedicated to her late grandfather. That's sweet. Oh, the embodiment of Eros. Ooh, who taught me that life is holy when each day is stressed, fed, and lived. I love that. So just beautiful touches in this book. And I can't remember which chapter it was that I was reading, um, but it had to do with, I think, one of the court cards, because we all love a good court card, don't we? I don't mind the court cards, but then when you're pulling it, doing a reading and you got, two or three of them all coming out at once, it's like, but yeah, she talks about the macrocosm and the microcosm of the human world, and just really, I mean, yeah, um, I need to take back my mornings. Kitty gets the attention, but the mornings is when I'm able to really absorb information. And what else we got going here? Audra is here. Hello, Audra, and everyone's celebrating a very blessed Letha. Summer solstice is tomorrow, and everyone's saying hello. Yes, Allison and I Wednesday for Woo Woo Wednesday. And let's see what else we got here. Multitasking with tentacles. It's like we all have tentacles, invisible tentacles, multitasking. Every time I say the word multi, I think of multipass from Lilu, from the Fifth Element. So, any special plans for celebrating solstice Letha tomorrow? I think it's because it's just getting very busy and touristy here in Ashland, especially with the Shakespeare Festival starting up. I think we're just going to chill out at home and going to play with my new, and it's Father's Day, yes. So a very happy Father's Day. Thank you for reminding me, Audra, to, a very happy Father's Day also tomorrow for all of our fur dads. So I know happy Father's Day to, as well as to Jonathan, and everybody else who's a father. I'm trying to think else who in our community. But yeah, and for those remembering our fathers, it was interesting. I was thinking of my father yesterday. We went to Lithia Park. Was it yesterday? Yeah, for about an hour yesterday. And I was sitting on the rock bank and thinking about life as I do, because it's such a beautiful, magical area. Very fey, as everyone knows, as I talk about, very fey, very ancient energy as well. And I was looking at these rocks, this rock formation outcrop in the creek, because the water's low right now. We didn't get that much precipitation this winter, and rains have been very far and few, and it's now in the 90s and hundreds. So a little dry, but some of the water was still, so the outcropping I'm looking at going, that looks like a scorpion. I said, that's kind of cool. I go, Scorpio. And I'm thinking, okay, Scorpio. Who do I know that's Scorpio? And then my papa popped into my head. I mean, I know Tom too. Tom Early Ritual. His birthday is right after my daddy's birthday. My dad's a Scorpio. Was a Scorpio, still is a Scorpio. October 26th. And I was like, well, it's interesting how I thought of him. And a few minutes later, I'm walking, because there's no smoking or anything allowed. And most people, obey by it. Every now and then you'll get, someone trying to hide somewhere and toke or whatever. But I started walking. I'm like, oh, who's starting to smoke? And then all of a sudden, I went, wait a minute. And it smelled like something my dad had smoked, either as a pipe or when he had one of those smaller, like flavored or scented cigars. And so I knew immediately that was my dad popping by to say hi for Father's Day. So that touched me a lot. And for those who lost their fathers, Jax, Allison recently lost her father. Everybody who has lost a father, Beautiful day to celebrate them also on solstice on Letha. And Gerald is a Scorpio. And my mom always used to say, you don't want to marry or date a Scorpio. They're nothing but trouble. Well, of course, she would say that was my dad, but I don't know. But no, I have lots of Scorpio placements too. But yeah, let's see. Let me back up a little bit. Shelby says, I'm going to watch A Midsummer Night's Dream with Michelle Pfeiffer and go out and grab some herbs and plants. Grab them gently and with love. And that movie cracked me up, Audra said. Let's see. It's so pretty with the fairy atmosphere and the design. Here, it's like people just, and especially during the fall. Fall and spring is my favorite because in the spring, you get those early trees and blossoms that, disappear within a couple of weeks. And so it's absolutely beautiful. And then the fall is so long here that the trees and the leaves, the colors, oh my goodness. And Jack's doing her mod thing. Thank you very much. I was going to say, young lady. Now, you are younger than me. I can say that. And it's, lots of Floridians. I had a lot of not fellow Canadians. Well, I am French Canadian, but I had a lot of Canadian viewers, chatters last night, and we have some Floridians in here. It's interesting in our community. I know is that Hershey, Jax, now Audra reside in Florida. So does I believe and Roman does. I don't know if that person's name just left me. See, the fun of getting older. Let's see. I don't have a Scorpio sun, but 5 other Scorpio. Yep, I have 3. So lots of water, no earth, I don't believe. Just a lot of wet, hot air. I'm humid. And hey, girl, hey. Yes, it is. This is the one I was I started yesterday. This isn't the one that I started with Lori. That one was starting to drive me a little nuts because I was trying to kind of paint like Georgia. And even though if I really set my mind to it, I can, because I had to do that in college. The style and stuff was kind of stifling me, and I got frustrated yesterday. And so the leftover paint I had, I just started smearing and slapping it around. And I was, as they say, happy as a pig in mud. I'll tell you what. So good to see you. I have Scorpion, the 4th house. I can't remember which. Oh, the crow likes that. You can hear the crow. Yep, my dad, Justin's energy's high. So yeah, I'm thinking of all my friends, here also in chat that have, lost their papas. Much love, big hugs. I don't know if you heard, Allison, but I could, I got a message from my dad. My dad was around me yesterday, especially with the pipe smoke. And of course, Tom is here. I already mentioned you, Tom, so, moving on. But no, Tom's birthday's right after my dad, so I can't forget it. Although accidentally last year I had a really emotional day last year with my dad's birthday, and I completely forgot, and I felt so bad I forgot my friend's birthday. So yes, thank you, Jax. Well, everybody's popping in. Kristen sent me, and you can see the video. It's by Jack Green. Actually, it's Greenwood. Did I type that in wrong? It's Greenwood. Jack Greenwood Tarot. So Kristen Louise sent me the link of his video. He did a hashtag Tarot to Positivity. There's 10 prompts, and she asked if I'd be interested in doing a live in response because of, he talks about mental health, not as in like clinical, but talks about how staying positive, what cards, help us through those moments, and really interesting prompts. I really liked them. And Kristen Louise said, would you like to do a live? And I was like, I would. So that is this Tuesday as well. And yes, I will be here tomorrow for the Sacred Feminine. I got a busy week. And then, of course, Selena and Allison and I for Woo Woo Wednesday. Let's see. Mine is just slowly lose. Room in 5 minutes. Yeah. It's like, wait a minute, what? So, Tom, everyone's saying hello to Tom. Yep, Roman. He is in Florida. I thought there was somebody else. Oh, and you're Floridian born. Well, how about that? It finally down to 92. It's yeah, well, we had a break from the 90s, but tomorrow, back up we go. A transplanted Pittsburgher. Wow. Say that fast a couple times, huh, Selena? Transplanted Pittsburgher. Let's see. My brother-in-law is that's so tiny I can't see that. And he's the best dad to my nieces. It's a tiny little emoji. I can't see it, but that's okay. Um, Tom saying hello, everybody else, and Jax, thank you. Yeah, everyone else saying hello to one another. I only cried about it for a week. So Tom, did you and Sweetheart decide on a loom? Um, I looked at one of the websites. Yeah, that's got a couple extra zeros than a deck of cards. um, I think looming is doing loom work is beautiful. Like I said, I saw some beautiful pieces down when I was doing the crocheting at Webster's. Just absolutely gorgeous. All the different colors. I mean, it was beautiful. Yep. My grandpa comes through with smoke. I didn't know my cigarettes. I didn't get to know my grandfather's blessed. I was blessed because of one of them, but my grandpa Johnson, I never got to fixed. My bad. You're good. Oh, Tom's starting shit, and Tom is feisty. He's in rare form tonight. Wow. Jeez, Tom. Be careful. Or I might send a crow your way, or someone else might send a bluebird your way. Oh my goodness. Or someone might send you some McDonald's your way. Oh, that was the scorpion emoji. Okay, it was so tiny. So yep, everyone's still saying hi. We got a lot of weird down here, Tom, to be fair. Yeah. What about oranges, Tom? Good source of vitamin C. Oh, not yet. Not. Oh, the loom. Okay, I'm trying to play catch up here. Tom wants scurvy. Oh, I don't know. And hey, Kristen's here, and we've already talked about our show on Tuesday, making hubby a latte. I'll take a latte, although I do have some watered down iced tea right here. I've been trying to stay on my healthier fluids. I know iced tea's not healthy, but just watered really down. When we get heat, especially here, my feet tend to swell, and it's been a little icky for the past week with all the heat. So drinking extra waters. Okay, oranges. I will give Florida that. And Audra says, I saw a pegboard loom that seemed usable at my level. Yeah, there's a lot of different ones. Get started, and if you think that this is something you want to do, you can pursue more expensive ones. But I'd like a better easel, but you know, it'll do. Access helped me get it when we moved here because I had to leave everything behind. So half of my family's. So even Tom has family down there. So Tom, are you originally a Floridian, or just the New Jersey family decided to get out of Dodge and get away from the snow and go for the oppressive heat and humidity? So let's see. I am all caught up. So yeah, I really like this book so far, Tarot and the Psychology of the Soul. I lean a lot more towards Jung. Not the biggest fan of Freud. Everything to him was based on repressed sexual tendencies and things, and I'm just like, I need something that's a little bit more, more than that, and I like how the Jungian depth psychology goes deeper, um, even in the. This is where I left off. The word divination derives from the same Latin root as divine or divinare, to be inspired by a god. Ooh. So I like this. The act of divining is not so much seeing what has not yet come to pass as it is peering into the unknown with God blessed vision, uncovering what is hidden or obscure from mortal sight. Wow. As Jung famously said, the world of gods and spirits is truly nothing but the collective unconscious inside of me. So, Tom, I would think you'd be a fan of that, seeing that you believe a lot of the divine, the archetypes are all from within and not is within and not necessarily without. God, no, the New York family moved down there. Well, so what made you go to New Jersey? So never mind. Tom's been all over like me. We're all a bunch of spiritual hobos. When I was living with my mom, after my mom left my dad, we moved every year. It was always still around Buffalo, but it constantly moving and stuff. So when it was time for me to go to Massachusetts and then go back to New York for a few weeks and then go out to Flagstaff and then come out to New Hampshire, then have to leave there and come back to New York and now in Oregon. It just, I've gone around a little bit. Let's see. No one likes summers unless they do water activities on a daily. Yeah, we don't have a beach. We have Emigrant Lake, but people have to be careful when they go down there because unfortunately, a lot of substance users, we'll say they are substance users or abusers, tend to toss their needles into the water to hide them, and then they wash up on shore. So you kind of got to be careful. My people come from Hell's Kitchen in Brooklyn. Ooh, okay, puffing up. Speaking of Hell's Kitchen, I wonder where Miss Taro D is. I wonder if she'll pop in. And I can see Miss Tara D watching right now, popping in. What is that supposed to mean? What are you saying about me? And yep, I can see that. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, and Tom's continuing to share. My grandparents bought a house in the burbs right outside Manhattan, and that's how I ended up here. That's how our little Tom ended up here, and the rest is history. Let's see. So, Tom, I don't think you got a chance because you were talking to your sweetheart about the looms. Have you heard anything on the next season release for Hellier? Any, talkings or whisperings in the community? And Audra says, I've only moved around Florida. I've never braved anywhere else. My son did cell towers at 18 and went to more states in three months in my lifetime. And I will have to say, I have been to another state. I have been to Michigan. My sister's first husband was stationed in the Coast Guard up at Tawas Bay. And so one summer I got to go and spend the whole summer living in a house under a lighthouse. And I didn't live in the lighthouse. There was a house that was outside of the lighthouse. And I tell you, it took me several weeks trying to fall asleep to the sound of the foghorn, the horn going off. And then once I got home, it was too quiet. I had a hard time. I had to get readjusted sleeping in my old bed, without the sound of the foghorn going off at night. Should be out in a couple of months. Ooh. And for people who are wondering what Tom and I are referring to, if you haven't seen the first two for Hellier. It's a documentary on Hellier, Kentucky, and about the mysterious paranormal like going ons with the hidden cave systems. Kind of like goblins, evil, not evil spirits, though some. So it's really an interesting watch. It can be a little dry. It's not the produced paranormal shows where everything's all music and drama, and it sometimes takes a while, but it's very fascinating. And I recommend, if you do watch it, to grab a notebook and write names down, because a lot of names get tossed around. They come around again, they disappear for a bit, but it's interesting. And looking forward, Shannon and I are both looking forward to the next season of that. It comes out, they only come out every, was it, Tom, 6 years or so? They work that hard on it. They make sure that there's no BS, basically. I've never left outside of New England. I have visited. I've been to, of course, I lived in Raleigh, Massachusetts. Of course, been to Salem, not far away from there. When Erica was in college, I got to go up to New Hampshire. When she was in Rhode Island, when she was going to Roger Williams, I got to go to Rhode Island. And of course, my very first day ever night in Rhode Island, they had an electric storm, hit our building, set off the alarm, and we all had to go running outside. Man, they were like, welcome to Rhode Island, but Rhode Island is gorgeous. It's beautiful. Was in Maine for a little bit, not too far in. So I've been to a few, but none of the southern states. Let's see. It's so hot here. It's hotter than a witch's. It's so hot here. You can't tell if you have. Oh, Jax, you have to have your own show. The Jax, the mangled unicorn show. Oh my God. Oh Lordy. I have lived in 6 states and visited 40. Oh my goodness. I'm looking forward to some point being able to visit Washington, where Shan had his Bigfoot sighting when he was a child. I'll say a child. Yeah, youngster. I'll say youngster. Let's see. It's pretty much ready to go, I hear. I have heard some things that I don't know if they can be shared. Really? Ooh, because of not legitimate, legal, like, yeah. I think of the word legalities. You were Michigans. I know a lot of those here that came to Florida, mostly nurses. I'm not sure about me. I just remember being, and that's where I had the first boy who ever told me he loved me was in Michigan. His name was Jeremy. We were like 9 years old, and I would sit down by the beach, and he, was visiting the other family that my sister lived at the house, connected with the Coast Guard, and he would pick on me and stuff. And then, at one point we started to play together, go swimming, and we'd have these this game we would play where we would go underwater and try to talk real fast and then come up and try to figure out what each other was saying. And one day he said something to me and I couldn't figure out what he was saying. And I said, I don't, what, and I remember, what are you saying to me? And he goes, I love you. And I went, oh. I embarrassed that poor boy. I ran to the house going, hey, Mom, Jeremy says he loves me. But, yeah, we had to go for a trip down to my sister's father-in-law's for a few days. And when we came back, his family left. And we never got to say goodbye to each other. And my sister, hey, Shay. And my sister said she couldn't remember, what the last name of the family was. So it'd be nice to, find him someday. But all I know is that his name was Jeremy. I was so sad. I couldn't even say goodbye. Let's see. Tom says, I heard from someone who knows someone who is in this season, so I know some of the rabbit hole they go down. I will say, I'm not sure how I feel about it. Oh, why are they? Is it, are they going to the dark side on you, Tom? Are they kind of going into territory where you're just like, mm, mm, mm. So, yep, and Shay's here. That is Magic with Moonlight. And I did bring some decks with me. But there was another book I wanted to share. I thought I'd make it Allison's attention if she's in chat, still in chat. It's because I know how much she likes numerology. Rhode Island is beautiful. Me and my family go towards Newport. Yep. And always go down there. It's so nice. And because, when I went there, my mom's, my friend's mom and the family had money. I got to go into two of the mansions. One was a small, famous one. I can't remember the name of it, but the one of the mansions that it was actually used for the filming of The Great Gatsby. We got to go into that one, so that was pretty cool. And I remember listening in the back of Erica's mom's Trans Am. No, it was a Trans Am. Listening to the new Enigma CD that had come out, that had the song. Oh my goodness! See, I can't remember now. The one that was on the Pure Mood soundtrack. Oh, good Lord! I'll think of it in a minute. So, yeah, but probably not what you would think. Ooh. Return to Innocence. I knew I was going to finally figure it out. I am assuming it is just one storyline. Sup, Beth? What's going on, girl? What's up? What's up? What's up? Moira in the house. And Moira. Beth, asparagus rising. So, Beth, we had another faux pas with autocorrect. So, we have a new one to add to the list, but I won't mention it right now. Tom fell under the curse of the evil autocorrect. Do look at every bullfrog and think of him. Every time I hear Jeremy, I think of that song. Every time bullfrog. Oh. Let's see. Only the cool kids and their moms had a Trans Am. Well, trust me, Erica's grandfather basically helped invent the lithium battery and pacemakers and stuff. Her family was, quite well to do, and her father. So you just got back from Chicago. So, I have never been to Chicago. Their art museum is one of the ones I've always wanted to go to. They have several beautiful George O'Keeffe's there. Grandkids, granddaughters, so busy, so fun. Well, I'm glad you're having a wonderful time. And again, for people coming, I hope you have a beautiful Letha tomorrow if you celebrate Blessed Day and or just celebrating the solstice. King Jeremy the Wicked ruled his world. I'm not sure who that is. Okay, I'm back. Kitty's wanted food. Well, you can't. Kitty's got to come first. They're the rulers. You're their subjects, so you gotta. Asparagus rising. I really want to go visit a friend in Chicago maybe this year. Very cool. My fourth child, no longer a child, went to the Chicago Institute of Art. Well, I think Georgia went there too, from what we learned when we did that last show with Lori. Jeremy the song. Oh, yeah. When I heard that, that just gives me goosebumps. Nope, I was talking. So that was okay. I haven't listened to the song in a while, but yeah, that was based on the true story too. That's that's awful. So for people popping in, was just talking about my one of my latest books, Tarot and the Psychology of the Soul, looking at tarot through depth psychology and archetypes, and really liking it. Getting into that. And then I whipped out my I Have Your Number by Deborah Sakow that I won on Selena's channel, all about life path numbers. So if anybody is curious about numbers or any information, I brought that out before I'd be willing to do some readings for Lita, unless I do another show tomorrow. Um, but what I liked about what Deborah had said in the book is that, at least according to her, when you have this kind of information, um, some people can use it really as a way of of getting. It's basically like with any tool, you can use it for good or you could use it for bad. And according to Deborah, and this is something I didn't think of, it's according to her at least, it's possible to be able to learn and understand people's life path numbers if you have them, and know exactly what their weak spots are, and how to manipulate people based on their numbers. I don't know if Allison, if you're still here, if you have heard that, or if that had ever Miss Nancy, what's going? Miss Nancy was sharing me with her new Beatles tarot. Very, very cool. They did a great job, I think. And I'm not even a Beatles fan. Um, let's see. Haunting song and video. Yes. And so, according to Deborah, it is possible, in her opinion, that when you are able to understand life path numbers, you learn people's positive traits. You can find out things that you can use, some things that aren't so positive, or I say flattering, but there's also information that you can learn that can kind of get to and finding ways on how to hurt them. How to, basically, don't be a dick, in other words, don't be a douche. Like Detective Douche. Remember Lucifer, everybody? How my brain, see how my brain works? That was a great TV show, Lucifer, with Tom Ellis. He used to call Dan Detective Douche. So don't be a douche. But apparently, there's two types of numerology. One that's that's based on Pythagorean, and one that versus Chaldean. So she goes by the Pythagorean. The Pythagorean. Why can I not Pythagorean? Tomato, tomato. I've heard it pronounced other ways as well. And so she does mention that, to make sure that when you learn this information, that you use the knowledge for good. And it says here, few notes before you spiral. Don't weaponize the information, she writes. Because unfortunately, there are those who can and that will, but not in our circles. Never, right? So let's see. Talks about, so yeah, lots of examples. There's something else. So a little quick. So if anybody wants to have any like little tiny descriptions or personality cues, little quick peeks, let me know. I used to have this beautiful color astrology. I had to leave that book behind. I might get that again someday. I have the life path number 2. So loves teamwork and tenderness, but occasionally forgets where their own needs are. Interesting. And the phrase is we are. But wow. So for me, I'm an 8. And the little sneak peek is power suit energy. I never would wear a power suit. Natural leader, money magnet. Money magnet. That's interesting. Sometimes forgets they have emotions. This is not me. I mean, it's probably because I have all the water, the Scorpio and the Pisces moon. So yeah, for me, some of the things with the eight, I really didn't resonate with. Let's see, a gardener I follow on YT pulled some tarot and oracle cards and got a lot of shit for it because of a gardener. Jeez. Moira has her own beautiful gardening channel as well. I'm a light path 22, but that is so no, I think Deborah does mention 22. I know some people break it down to a 4. In her book, she goes beyond 9. She does 11, 22, 33, 44, and 55, which I can't drive. Well, I'm 55 right now, but that's a light path number though. But so, Jax, you said 22. According to her, the ultimate builder of big ideas. I could see that being you. Collaborator, connector, often running 5 communities at once. Interesting. And they go by We Network and Build. And let's see. Tom saying hi to Miss Nancy. And oh, you said a 3 instead. So we have any 3s in the house, like Miss Kristen Louise. Hi, Miss Moonlight. So number 3s are a walking Pinterest board of creativity, charm, and mild chaos. Expressive and entertaining. I create. Now that I want that to be my life path number 8. That feels more like me. Let's see. Wait, ignore me. I don't remember. Well, we are in the sign of Gemini right now, so maybe Gemini energy is getting in the way. Well, I'm going to get going. Bye, Shelby. Have a beautiful day tomorrow. Sacred Geometry, Light Path Number. I won this book from Selena. Well, not from Selena, but on Selena's channel from Deborah. And I pulled it out because I was thinking about things to talk about. I bought a tarot book on psychology I shared earlier, or actually a little while ago. And then I brought this out kind of like a conversation. It's a 2. Kristen Louise, makeup. Now I'm trying to find where is that page? So number 2s, loves teamwork and tenderness, but occasionally forgets where their own needs are. Yeah, we are. So there. Yep. I can see that from when we've talked and readings. And let's see. Miss Nancy says, Kristen, been enjoying your deck. I just love it and all the love and care you put into it. You put in it. Yep. I've had her deck for longer than you have, Miss Nancy. Oh, I got a deck before Miss Nancy. Just kidding. I've gotten quite a few decks that was a Miss Heather made me do it, according to Miss Nancy. Let's see. It is scary accurate. So number 2s, let's find out some more about Kristen Louise. Just for some fun here. Empathy is their default setting. They pick up on tones, facial twitches, vague pauses in text messages, and your subtle change in punctuation. Oh no, they'll say. He ended that sentence with a period. He's definitely upset. I think we all, though, can say that. That all happens to us, especially with text messages. It's really taken away the ability to have a conversation with people and learning how to be able to infer what's being said because there's no emotion. There's no social really interaction with it. Even on a regular telephone, you could still hear the tone, the person's voice and everything. On a text, it's just whatever you have to go by. Kristen, 2s are the lovers, mediators, and peacemakers of the numerology world. They walk through life with their hearts wide open, their radar up, and a pocket full of tissues just in case you start crying, and they will cry right alongside you. Oh, so beautiful. Let's see. Well, if you miss creating it, Kristen, maybe it's time for another one. Maybe a new one. Oh, I didn't see that before I said that. So, Selena, you are also so Selena. I can see you being a money magnet. You work long hours. You're dedicated to your craft, both the craft and crafting your oils, your schoolwork, everything. So, I can totally see that. Let's see, number eights. Really quick to the number eights. So me and Selena have something in common. Eights approach relationships with the same energy they bring to building empires, steady, strategic, and fully committed once they're in. That I will say about me, yes. They're fiercely loyal, yep. Protective, yep. And want to know you're bringing your best self to the table, not perfection, but effort. So I don't know, I can resonate with that. Their love isn't about constant fireworks or gushy declarations. It's about showing up, growing together, and achieving big goals side by side. Oh, I love that. Makes me think of Shan. Oh, when young teachers call them strong willed, classmates call them bossy. No, because I was the one that was always bullied. So, but no, and the principal called them future board member. I don't know about that. Um, I like that, Selena. Dream big or get out of my way. I can see you being that. So we won't go into the shadows. How to spot an eight in the wild. I like this. Selena already knows because she's probably got the book that she's read. So, warning. So, this is how to spot an eight in the wild. Warning, do not attempt to out alpha them. You will lose. Oh, my goodness. So, Nancy would like to know, Kristen, how long did it take start to finish? I remember when you were writing the guidebook and just knew it had to be difficult. Wow. So Tom is a 33 or a 6. So, Allison, I don't know if you're still here, but Allison's got the one of the original books that she refers to all the time for um, numerology. Allison, in your book, do they go over 11? Let's see, number 33. Tom, the cosmic artist. Can't make this up. Healer, creator, emotional sponge. I don't know. Are you a sponge? Soak everything up. Brings beauty into form. Yes, if he would ever give himself the chance to finish a sculpture. You do bring beautiful things into the world. You do create. Yes. Oh, I bring into being. Yep. And if we look at it too, maybe from a 3 perspective, again, a walking Pinterest board of creativity. Charm. I don't know about charm. I don't know. I don't know. Are you charming, Tom? And mild chaos. But you do like chaos magic. But is it mild or is it sharp and spicy? Expressive and entertaining. I create well, entertaining. I don't know because you really haven't do anything with your channel. But maybe when you do, then you can refer to the 3. And Miss Moonlight, more you have a gardening channel. Yes, she does, and I'm sure further on down, Jax has put that in there. A broken watch is right twice a day. There you go. The light path number is like that. Not much to it, really. Oh, so you think there's not much to the life path number. Interesting. Yeah, we're all different. We all think different. We believe different things resonate differently with us. Audra says, I'm a 22 life path if you add them straight across, or 13-4 if you break them up into 3 numbers. So, Audra, interesting. Excuse me. Yep, 22, the ultimate builder of big ideas. But let's see, 22. So if we look at a 4, well, what do you think, Audra? It's interesting because for number 22, it says the ultimate builder of big ideas. Oh, excuse me. And then for the four part, it says here the steady builder. If you were to add those together, so building is connected with those two: plans, structure, systems, and suspicious side eyes at your spontaneous road trip. Ooh, all righty. Let's see. Let me put this in here and let me catch up with chat. And then I can star if anybody asks for a number. You're a master number 22. Don't break that down. Okay. Hayden Crawford gave me a scary, accurate life path number reading. I don't know Hayden. The only Hayden I know, not personally, is Christensen, but God, could you imagine if I knew Hayden Christensen personally? Let's see. Nancy, I don't recall. A few months, but writing the guidebook took longer. Yeah. You're also a master number 3, Tom, or Adam. He is quite the atom, isn't he? He's an atom just zipping around in the universe. And when his atoms are out for this life, he's going to be zipping around the universe and poking at us from the other side. Let's see. 11, 22, 33, and so forth are master numbers. But then when you get in the word master, though, does that make the single numbers less? Do we learn more? Or are we more spiritually evolved or learning than a person with a single? You know how they're like to kind of not stir things up to start, but this is just me thinking. Especially when we had our conversation last Saturday about the star seeds and talking about ascended masters and things and stuff, just makes me think about when we use the words master with numbers and things, that for me, not having that spiritual hierarchy, or like having, one above, one leg up over another because of, whether it's a number or if someone feels we're at a different, degree or dimension or something. I think we're just all on here, just putting around, trying to make the best of what we can and learning the lessons that supposedly we came here to learn. Not everyone believes that too. I was wrong. I'm a number 2. Oh, I love that, Kristen. I am an 8, so another fellow 8, and I'm still waiting for that money. And I don't like suits. There we go, Miss Moonlight. Selena, I hope you're feeling better. Please. Oh, Selena. We're having a rough time again, but yes, please take care of yourself. And every time I get an Instagram, I'm looking forward or towards my Darla video. And today was another cute one. Selena, Darla really does not like the goggles on her eyes. And Shan asked me today, why does she have to wear goggles? And I said, I think it might be because of her Addison's, something affecting her eyes. I couldn't remember exactly what that was. But yeah, Darla does not like her goggles. But Jack says, I have Deborah's book, but I'm in the middle of the emotion code. Ooh, do tell. What is the emotion code? And let's see. Thank you. Oh, StreamYard. Let me back up a little bit here. StreamYard is just really pissing me off. Let's see. Wow, spoken like a true single number, Heather. Yes, smack that sassy. Smack it good. Let's see. Is that for a person's name, Selena? Okay. Whoa, Irene. So yeah, I'm a little far behind. Wow. So, man, I am really. Yes, I am. Let's see. I'm here. Just walked back in the room. Boy, hello, Amanda, Mama Sushi. How are you doing, sweetheart? Okay, I always forget. How do you figure this out? Man, I really am behind. This is Saturday's about 7 hours you got to work. Selena crafts her life. She does 13 hours. Oh, perimenopause makes that true. Been crying more. Yep, we all go through it. Let's see. Beth says the nuance is gone and assumption takes over. Texting is good in emergencies, but it's an inferior form of communication, says the crone. There you go. Even though I don't consider myself crone worthy age or experience, I agree with you on that. And yes, most tarot readers can read people regardless of their numbers. Um, oh my goodness, I really was behind. Audra, Selena, my name is the opposite. If I add all the letters, Heather, I got Christmas stick as soon as it was available. All right, I stand corrected, Miss Nancy. Let's see. And my mom was a third. Boy, I am so freaking far behind you guys. You are Tom as my sister and my son. Selena says I'm a master 33. Yes, you are. You're master. Oh, Tom, don't even. Okay, I think I'm caught up that way. Yeah, a lot of studying up and staying late. I don't know how you do it. And so figuring it out. Oh my goodness. Oh, I am charming as Oh, yes, you are. Charming as a grizzly bear. And I hear grizzly bears make great steak. Right, Allison? Oh, boy, I have a lot of fellow eights. I love that. Yep, Moira. Her channel, Bloom and the Beanstalk. And Irene is here. Hello, Irene. I better get my ass going down. Yay for the eights. I know, right? I'm not a money magnet, so we got to turn that around somehow. It just occurred to me. My life had two, and the tarot card is High Priestess. Yep, mine's the strength. Boy, we all use some strength. That's a really good book. Love that, Kristen. I have big ideas. I do too. One of my grandchildren's name is Hayden. I love that name. Me too. My grandniece, my grandniece Hayden. Yep. She's a teenager now. Hayden Crawford is an Aussie. Dreaming Academy is his channel. And another 8. Wow. Master numbers have more challenges in your. I don't know, girl. I've had some challenges in life. No, I believe our life path numbers are our birth dates. Master numbers carry greater potential, but also greater challenges. I don't know. I think I carry great potential, and I'm not a master number. Just like Tom said, though, coming from a single number, I think through my scrappy childhood, yeah. And I agree with Selena, many challenges. Yeah. I've had quite a few. Do you get those numbers from your name, your birth date? There's one that you do by your name, but I can't remember what number that is called. This reminds me of the community episode about meow meow beans. I don't know what you are. I'm sure Jax does. She has neurological issues and doesn't blink like she should. Got you. So that is to protect her eyes. And the emotion code is about releasing trapped emotions. Yeah, I'm doing the EMDR, so that's been a lot of fun. Darla has CH, essentially a dog with cerebral palsy. But that doesn't, and Shan just goes, every time with me. He feels sad. I go, but look, she has no idea. and she falls and she gets back up and she plays. She's such a sweetheart. She's so endearing. She really is. Irene says, I did the numerology thing in the late 70s, but it was our names, not birth dates. So I think that's a different path. Not, yeah, because I think there's two different sets of numbers. Yes, she's super sweet, that Darla. And Nancy says, very excited about Selena's deck. I think it is so important to support our friends when they create. I know, I can't wait for Selena to release her deck. It's the same numbers for Audra. Submitting everything tomorrow. I mean, Monday, excuse me. I keep thinking today's Sunday. Everyone's like, no, we still have our weekend, rest of our weekend to go. But, oh, that's awesome, Selena. And of course, you're going to have to bring and mention that on Wednesday with our show. I've been tweaking my guidebook and the images. And Tom, are you doing an MPC? Perfectionism sucks sometimes. Yep. That's an 8 thing, isn't it? Everything's got to be, and then if it's not, then I get overwhelmed or I get frustrated and I walk away and then I never finish. What's the master number and how do you figure that one out? Master numbers so for your life path, Beth, when you add up your numbers, if they're doubles like an 11, 22, 33, 44, and 55, that's considered a master. So some people will still, count them down, but Selena says it's better than just leave them as masters. And so, like for me, my number came to 26. So there's no master number for 2, 6. So 2 and 6 is 8. But I believe Deborah also has in the book, if you are like a 26, then there's like another addition, that information that gets added on. So yeah, it gets a little. Irene, see how I didn't even finish that thought. 9, Irene, old soul. They're considered an old soul, Irene. Legacy vibes. Might cry over a tree. You're very connected to nature, but has a deeply strategic mind. And it goes, I teach. Ooh. And Selena is not doing MP, ordering them in advance and taking them to Gettysburg to consecrate each one their ritual and all. Wow. Yeah, I can't wait to hear about that on Wednesday. And Shay is a number 5. Freedom chasing, suitcase packing, commitment avoiding, adventure junkie. Gets bored easily. I explore. Now, for me, freedom chasing, suitcase packing, that sounds a lot like me too. Let's see. Got to move this up here. Let's see. Nancy says, I can't remember how you get your life path number. That's your birth date. So for me, it was 12 plus 06 plus 19 plus 70. And then you keep breaking them down. Because I was born December 6th, 1970. Ooh, makes me more excited for it. Oh my goodness, buying 150 to 200 copies. From where? A place in Florida. And Allison says, it's difficult to explain and describe numerology through chat. There's a lot of nuance. Yep. Allison, what's your number? If you don't mind me asking. I'm just curious to see what she has listed for a little quick peek. That's cool. I am a 9 birth date and 33 for my name. So if you go by the same for your name, that's not a light path. That's a different type of, gosh, I can't. So again, the cosmic artist, healer, and creator. Ooh. Let's see. Oh, is that the place that used to do the artisan tarot cards? Starts with an S or something. Shuffled ink is the place I'm using. Ooh, yes, because from what I understand, and Kristen Louise explained when she did her deck through MPC, it took a ton of sales before she saw any sort of revenue from it, and that's just wrong. Selena is giving her an amazing life. Yes, she is. Her and David. She loves her daddy too. Tom says, oh, Selena Shop, Ko-Fi. Yay. Thank you, my dad. There was a place in China that was cheaper, but yeah, it's Gettysburg. I can't do that. Yeah. So Allison says, everyone has 6 numbers in their chart. 3 come from your name, so they can be changed. The other 3 are permanent. Birthday. Oh yeah, I know what MPC is. I looked into some decks through there. Um, but yeah, when Kristen told me that, how many decks she had to sell before she saw any little bit of revenue was just unbelievable. Let's see, Shuffled Ink is good. I didn't realize they were doing smaller runs like that, so that's awesome. I don't know if I'm ever going to do mine, and they are incredibly nice too. Tom, you can't, and yeah, and everyone knows I'm playing with him, but Tom, you can't even do a video on your channel. It's been what, 6 months to a year? When you going to do any cards? But Tom, if you did, they would be incredible because you are an amazing artist. Let's see, and yep, see, mm-hmm. So 3 birthday, life, and 6. Oh, so there's an attitude. So Allison's a 5, a freedom chaser, a suitcase packing. So you're 3 for your birthday. Okay. A walking Pinterest board of creativity, charm, and mild chaos. Interesting. 6 for attitude. Nurturer, harmonizer, accidental martyr. Just wants everyone to eat well, love, and use coasters. Eat as long as it's eating meat, right, Allison? And I'm just having fun, but I know. Let's see. Alrighty. This from Deborah's book. Yes. You know what? I would never, I don't think I would ever change my name. There's just something to my name. And even when I have when I put in, for my certificates and stuff that I earned recently, I made sure that I included M on my forms in my name, and I still left my middle initial. It's so weird. I need to see the M. Everything has always been Heather M. Johnson. And now I've got a couple of certificates that just say Heather Johnson. I'm like, no, it doesn't feel complete without the M. And I actually have a woman that I met. I follow her still. I met her through Crystal Magic. She does soul journeys with people. She'll, go with people, and wherever place they want to go to in the world, she'll fly there and she'll meet them. So she's done them in Ireland, in Sedona. I think she's even been to England and a few other countries. And she helps people reconnect and do soul spiritual work. And she had a life changing event where she almost died, and so she changed her name legally to Eagle Spirit. So her name, Eagle Spirit. That's just business. Yeah, people got to make the money. Let's see. That is so awesome, Selena. Right? No shortcuts, not for this. No China. All righty, bye, Selena. She may be gone already. Hubby's home. Changing the channel. Boo, man. Boo, hiss. Bye, Selena. We'll talk to you later, hon. Yep. Needs to be American. Yep. I'm gonna say take care. Jeez, people going through the garbage for the cans and everything. I once got. Wait a minute. I once was able to get a local printing company to trim the borders off a tarot deck for me. They probably would never take that job again. Wow. Well, it's nice that they did that for you at one time. Wow. Yay. I'm caught up. So yeah, tarot and the psychology of the soul I brought, to talk about tonight, and the numbers. I know the numbers are always exciting. Um, One of the best parts about me getting married was I got rid of my maiden name. Oh, it's literally, and there's lightning. Oh, your little, oh, Bodie. I hope Bodie's right. I know so many dogs' names here. We have Mila, we have Zulu. Person comes around, then there's Roxy. Um, that's what divine timing or divine place. Her dog. I mean, Darla. So it's always, yeah, remembering the little puppies' names and all to keep track of Jonathan's. Let's see. Yeah, poor puppers. And but Allison Schmally son had such a right to it. Boy, that's just, just so juvenile, Tom. Say, man, I used to love my main name, but no, I don't. Potter. Oh, yeah, you can tell people you're related to Harry Potter. But there's Beatrice Potter, and I think, oh no, it's Jackie's Crystal Moon. She was Cotter, not Potter. So 713. I did bring two divination decks. I brought the Human Spirit Oracle wanted to come along tonight. My Folia wanted to come along tonight. And I also brought my Nested Tarot by Sawyer. I can't think of her name. Jamie Sawyer. Haven't used this deck in a while. Absolutely love the artwork. So if anybody, I have a weird Irish last name. Mine was easy to pronounce. It was McConnell. That was my mom's grandma's name, my great grandma. I did occasionally, people believed me. So if anybody would like a card pull tonight, please let me know. Not, I can just do a collective for the solstice for Letha. It's the shortest night of the year. And what energies are going to be coming in tomorrow for at least our part of the hemisphere of the world. And our friends down under, they're actually celebrating winter solstice. Mine was Cassidy or Casade. They just kept changing the names to people who couldn't keep track of spelling on the things, and until it came to Cassidy. So, alrighty, Kristen, you can be the caboose. Alrighty, so I'm going to do the collective first. Collective energy for all of us. Moving into. Alrighty, and of course my Folia. I love this deck. Yes, no, okay. These guys are slippery. Mine is Noonan, originally O'Noonan. Bye, Allison. Talk to you later. Have a good solstice. The Irish name in my family is O'Dyer. Ooh, Dyer maker. Not quite. Just kidding. All righty. For the collective, now I just got to get a couple of tarot. My ancestors came from a small village called Rushmuck. I still have relatives there. I believe mine was Armoth, Armagh. Alrighty, so for the collective from the human spirit, we've got Wallflower. And this is kind of, I'm getting the vibes of, and it's all spring, summer. I mean, not spring, summer, flowers are blossoming. There are times when we need to be a wallflower to see what's going on, to be heard, to be seen, was, kind of the camouflage, being able to read a room, taking a step back, maybe holding back what we want to say, knowing when to say it and when not. And wallflower also can represent us learning how to trust in ourselves, trusting in um, who we are, our personality, not being afraid of speaking our truth or sharing people who we are. It's basically leaving the wall, walking, up to people, or becoming more involved in the world and letting people see aspects of ourselves instead of hiding ourselves away. So we have the wallflower, and then we have from the folia, celebration. Celebration times, come on. So enjoy your victories with others. So there you go. Wallflower. Stepping away from the wall. Start talking to people, speaking your truth, being your authentic self, and then you connect and celebrate with others. Everyone coming forward from that, sharing our victories, even if it's the small ones in our lives. We support each other with those small little victories. We build each other up instead of tearing each other down. Our top card for the collective is the Page of Pentacles. So this is a time for study, curiosity, looking at things from different perspective, establishing, a sense of curiosity of, things that we are interested in. So those victories and stepping from the wall, and becoming more involved in the world and with others in our community. The pentacles are, again, slow moving, but we learn more about ourselves, about each other. We also can take this in learning more about our health, how we can improve our health, our wealth, um, you know, our sense of security and stability, and all coming together, these small victories with others. We all become curious about each other and not letting the media, um, and, social media and other groups kind of um, infringing upon us with their rhetoric and their racism, and just stepping away from that and learning just to really learn about each other, and again celebrating each other. And the bottom of the deck, we have another court card. So the root energy for is the Queen of Swords. And so right now, this underlying energy is, right now we feel like we need to be protected. We're protecting ourselves, our hearts. But this is also a card like with the wallflower, making sure we speak our truth. Maybe watching what we say, because sometimes that Queen of Swords can be a little curt, a little blunt, a little hurtful. But she is very logical, practical, and very protective of her heart, of who she is. And a lot of us need to do that. But again, kind of dropping the sword a little bit, that shield, and sharing more of who we are in the community. And also, again, knowing when we take the time to stand up against that wall to kind of look, we get a lay of the land, and then we find out who our true tribe is and who they are. And then we can maybe drop that sword and maybe start communicating our feelings, our ideas, our knowledge, our beliefs with each other, from more of a place of solidarity, instead of divisiveness. So, Magus. Magus in one of his many channels. How are you? We're having a beautiful day here. Beautiful weather today. I hope you're having a beautiful day in your neck of the woods and in Asha. So, pronouncing names. Okay. So, came from a village. We got that. Yeah, die. Well, remember, angels, touched by an angel. The one actor, his last name was Die, actually Die. And he was one of the first to pass away, and it was at a young age, which was kind of creepy. I can't spell or say where my Irish grandparents came from. It can be difficult. Oh, Mama Sushi, gone you, gone you. Isn't that interesting? Like I learned was, I thought, okay, one of the Morgan that I was learning, I thought the name was Nemain, Neman, but it's Navan. I'm like, yeah, Nemain, it's Navan. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that's how you pronounce that? So Irish Gaelic can be very tricky. It's a backwater. Oops, where did that go? It's a backwater village. They still use horse wagons and raise goats and sheep. Yeah. Hey, Irene says I would love that. And some of those Irish names are hard to pronounce from the spelling. I saw a cool video of an Irishman going through the hardest to pronounce, like Siobhan. Yep. Instead of C-O-Ben, it's Siobhan. Let's see. Gonna see my dad at my sister's tomorrow. Will be second time at her house in a month and probably 5 years since the last. Wow. And Kristen Louise dropping some more ancestry knowledge on us. My ancestors were part of Cromwell's forced migration to Connacht. They survived the potato famine too. I have famous people on my dad's side. Mom's is a bunch of Irish potato. I'm going to stop right there. My Gaelic name for Irene is, okay, it's pronounced, so it's Shiva. Wow. How you get Shiva from it just it's blows my mind. Blows my mind. Heather, can you please summarize what's going on with the whole community park issue and your studies? I've missed so much traveling. Okay, so the park has gotten better. The individuals from the unhoused community that were really causing trouble, being aggressive, leaving needles laying around, even finding track marks left in the toilet paper rolls in the bathroom. A lot of them have been banned from the park, and they have been banned from the lawn, is where they are allowed to camp overnight. So certain individuals are gone. We get a few more that come in from out of town that we kind of got to keep an eye on, but relatively the park's been quiet. Weekend, the council has decided to let them stay on the lawn on the weekend so they don't have to break down their stuff and move it. And if due to inclement weather, they get to stay there too. And now with the summer though and school and a splash pad opening up, it's been a lot more peaceful. They come around sometimes in the evening or a few of them during the day to collect bottles and stuff to take and get money for them. So it's better for now. We're hoping that continues to carry into the winter. We're not quite sure. It may be a battle again, but we'll see how things work out. Schoolwork done for now. I'm looking to maybe enroll in a mental health first aid. Right now, I have to kind of take a step back because I had to reapply for, not reapply, but I had to have my Social Security disability looked at. It makes me very nervous and very scared. It's I have to be reevaluated, and so fingers crossed. Because I had to fill out the form that I was going back to school. They ask you, are you doing studies? Have you gone back to school? And I said yes. And I wrote down that, it is to continue my education for myself, people, friends, family that I can help. Because right now, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to work because Shan was able to finally, after being out of the service for what 30 some, 40 some years, and about 40 years now, was able to get a little extra every month for hearing loss that his work as a CB contributed to. And so that's going to be raising our income. So I'm not sure what I'm going to be able to do from there. And the life coaching that I wanted to do, um, I may wait till next year. I'm still trying to feel things out. Right now, I'm just getting really back into my art. I'm enjoying my oil pastels and just, enjoying the weather and just kind of taking it a little, at a time. So it's called recertification with my SSDI. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, Beth. And doing a few more shows. So let's see. Irish has nothing on the Welsh. Yeah. I never fit in. I do my own shit. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now, Beth. So Kristen wanted a Letha reading. Alrighty. So let's give one out for Miss Kristen Louise, who again, for people who have come in, Kristen came across a very cool VR tag that we're going to actually do live together. It's Tarot to Positivity by Jack Greenwood. It's 10 prompts, and her and I are going to be getting together 7 p.m. Eastern Standard on Tuesday to go over the 10 prompts and share our decks and our thoughts that go along with the cards that we pull with the prompts. So hopefully you can join Kristen and I that evening. So for Kristen, for Letha. Oh, I can't believe it's Letha already. My God, it's like half the year is gone already. So I can't believe we've been here over a year. Let me see. New comments. Oh, yeah, I like the VR. Very interesting. Okay. Tuesday. This Tuesday, Beth. And I love that I have someone that I can discuss mental health with on my channel. Kristen, we still have to do a show on that list of comments that you should never say, really consider not saying to an individual that's coming from a traumatic, a trauma-informed history. That was really interesting too. So I'm excited too. All righty. And boy, let's see. Is it going to let me do? Okay. All righty. So, Kristen, road less traveled. Ooh. So, the solstice, this Letha. Have there been any roads that you have not really traveled that you're interested in? Interests in whether it's divination, school, spirituality, any aspect. Because sometimes, like they said, that road less traveled is where we learn a lot about ourselves. So with this solstice, maybe allowing some of that extra sun, that light to shine down. To start kind of taking a look at where you might want to go moving forward with life. Again, any continuing, maybe academic, divinational, business, whatever that is, road less traveled. So, and I like how that leads. I like how the stairway leads up to her throat too. It's like things that speak. What do you want to speak about? This road less traveled may help you find a new aspect to your voice, may give you more strength to your voice and how you want to share and speak and express your thoughts in the world. And then it continues up above her head into like a gateway in the door. So expanding, again, also one's horizon. So those roads, is there a road that's less traveled that's been like catching your eye? And if there's any fear behind going down that road less traveled, you're protected, my dear. It says right there, you are protected, the shield. So this is partly to maybe drop down your shield to be able to move forward, like with the collective reading, for us to kind of drop our shields, step away from the wall, and start um, finding our paths again, taking that first step to start finding that new path for ourselves. And a beautiful message too to go along with the collective of knowing that you're protected. And yeah, so we look at the tarot. Let's see what we have. So, yep, road less traveled, wallflower connecting with all this too, 8 of Swords. So this is the time to get out of our heads. Know that anything that we fear, making sure that it's not that it's not something that we put there or that we support, that we don't talk ourselves into. So instead of talking ourselves into maybe not trusting that new road or that new path, that new idea, questioning whether you're protected or not, this is where we we rewire and we what's the word I want to say? I can see it's like we rewrite our inner dialogue. Oh my God, Heather, rewriting our inner dialogue, mental dialogue, and knowing that we have the strength, we are protected, to be able to step through those swords and express ourselves and move forward fearlessly. And your underlying root energy is the wheel. So good fortunes can very much come your way with stepping on this new path, this new road. This might also acknowledge a fear of, but what if? Again, the what if. What if it doesn't pan out? What if I take that spin and it doesn't work? What if I fail, but what if you don't? So we kind of, again, getting out of our heads, letting not anybody else get into our heads too with those swords, and taking off that blindfold and seeing clearly. Once we take that blindfold off, then that road less traveled is going to become more apparent, and it's going to be more welcoming and more exciting because you know that you're protected. So that's what I have for you, my dear. Thank you for letting me read for you. Let's see. I am tentatively feeling drawn to voodoo. I'm treading carefully. Yes, I want to be very respectful since it is a Haitian spirituality. I just I don't know if I sent it to you. There's a woman, something poison. She's hysterical. She's this white lady with black hair, and she works with Lilith Morgan and with Hecate. And she did recently a video on closed religions, and people who are outside of a ethnic culture have no business studying another person's spirituality. And to me, that's a fine line, telling somebody that I can understand. um, I wouldn't recommend just jumping in and doing a ceremony that's outside of one's culture or ethnicity. Um, but if you want to me, if you want to read up on it and learn about it, and then sit for a while, and if you feel that you are drawn to it, and if you feel that possibly one of the Orishas or one of the deities are speaking to you, then to go into the community, find somebody, find an elder, someone who practices, and sit with them and see if how they feel and if they're willing to welcome you into a teaching or into an open circle, like with paying open circles, or having a open gathering to get a feeling. So there's all different ways of becoming um, connected to something that is outside of our ethnicity. Um, and we were talking about family, Chris. There you go. There's the shield. Thank you, Audra. But what if's awesome. Oh, thank you, Magus. That means a lot hearing that from you. Though I've never gotten to read for you, but thank you. Um, but every time I pull a four of swords, though, Magus, I think of you. You're welcome, my dear. All righty, twisted sushi. Let's see. Now Aurora thinks saying hiccup is the same as having hiccups. Oh my gosh, she's so adorable. What's Tom? Tom putting his 2 cents in, of course he is. But no, Tom really is um, someone to talk to when it comes to this. He's a good sounding board. It depends on who you talk to. Yep. I've never understood that attitude that you can't practice something that doesn't match your current culture. I mean, if you believe in reincarnation, couldn't that attraction be from a former life? Yes, but with so much, I can see, I get the understanding because of so much cultural appropriation going on. Like the same woman's video, I had to actually reach out to one of my indigenous friends when I feel very close to. Um, Her name is Jill back home. She's Tuscarora. She's part of Haudenosaunee people. And I had learned from this woman's channel that if you're not indigenous from any of the countries like from North South America, um, you know, Palo Santo, white sage, white people are not supposed to be burning that or using that for ceremonies. And this is new to me. And so, and we have to kind of look at where we are too right now in the world, again, with people becoming more stringent with, cultural appropriation boundaries. But then, because of course, it doesn't help when you have certain TikTokers going off and just spewing all kinds of shit and saying, I'm doing this and doing that. So right now, it's really just, I think personally, for everybody to take a step back and figure out where is it coming from. Now, for me, I've been burning Palo Santo for I don't know how long. I honor it. I respect it. I call in my ancestors, my spirit team when I burn it. White sage, I haven't burned in a while, but when I did, and I do the same thing. So I reached out to Jill, and she says, well, I'm preparing for actually ceremony. I think she said this weekend, she said she would get back to me. But right now, she doesn't feel I've done anything wrong. So let me catch up here. Vin couldn't date Fox when they were little. Oh, okay. Say Fox. Yes, but gatekeeping, but for when it's the right cause and for a true understanding, I totally get it though. So it's just trying, it's that fine line. It really is. I'm always torn on the closed systems. I understand the concerns with racial and spiritual tourism. Yes. And that's one of the words that she mentioned. This would be a great conversation to have um, on a Saturday show. Whenever if you're interested, Tom, because even and Jax, this would be something maybe the three of us can maybe discuss. I'm just throwing that out there, and if you feel not this isn't kind of my thing, as they said back in the day, this ain't my bag. You can always chill with us and chat too and share. But you two let me know if any of that resonates with you doing that. Or even Kristen Louise joining as well. This might be a nice panel to have. It isn't about matching your culture. There is a level of racial oppression tied up in appropriated religions. Yes, and Kristen has studied this. She has written on this. She really knows her thing too. White people always gonna white people. Well, I try not to do that. I had a Zuni Navajo friend, Kyle, who would get angry at me, make fun of me, but he knew that I was always trying to be as respectful as possible. So that was my grace with him. I understand it from an exploitation point of view or from not really understanding the practice, but what's wrong with studying it for your own personal growth? True. I will spend many years studying a religion before ever entertaining it personally if it is from an oppressed culture. And I think nowadays it's just there's no respect to these cultures. It's all willy nilly, just jumping in and people assuming they can do it because they're entitled to be able to do it. So again, it's the mindset. Um, was that Beth or was that Moira that said that? Sorry, Beth. But yeah, I mean, if I want to study it, um, I can study it, but whether to partake or do a ritual, that to me, I would have to, learning is good because, for me, learning keeps you up on so that people aren't ignorant about other people's culture. Um, but there's a difference, I think, between learning for education and then learning to take advantage of or to appropriate. And yes, attention is everything. Tom says, I don't think there is anything wrong with studying it for your own growth. Tom and I agree on something? Wow. I was told I couldn't use porcupine quills for jewelry because it was appropriating indigenous culture. I don't understand that. I mean, I understand, but I understand what you're saying, but I'm not sure how porcupine. I mean, that might be something in that area of Canada, or like in the United States. I don't know if it's around the world, but only a native individual or indigenous person is allowed to have an eagle feather. So I don't know if the porcupine quills are sacred to a certain people or a nation in your area, and only they are allowed to have it. Let's see. I gotta jump. Okay. I understand that, Kirsten, but if your motivation isn't exploitive, but rather respect, not by three white people, it's not. Okay, I lost my place. It's not my place to dictate anything on that. Not by three white people. White people. I don't know how that connected your growth. Okay. They own the fire too. If you're indigenous, you can light a fire downtown. If anyone else does, it's arson. As a half breed, I got told no a lot. I couldn't fit anywhere. Jeez. I know. I hate that term too. Heather, I just want to say how much I appreciate your openness and respectfulness to all people. Thank you, Miss Moonlight. I try to be. I'm not perfect, and I know that some things that I discuss are going to ruffle feathers, and it's not meant to, but I think it's just conversations that are important to have. Um, if you want to do an episode on that, I recommend reaching out to some BIPOC people. I'm not sure. That looks familiar, but you need to remind me, sweetheart, what does BIPOC mean? You're too white for this, you're too Asian for that. What can I do? Yeah. It's a weird place to be, Jax. This is something my wife struggles with as well. Yeah. Much love to Sam. They are for headdresses or ritual dancers. I guess they are allowed like feathers. Okay. They kill and eat porcupine and use their quills for art and clothing decorations. About have a show on a Saturday on the topic. About have a show. I know, but she says BIPOC. I'm not sure what that means. I might be just confused because it's taking me a while to get through chat. Have a show on Saturday. Not to breed in pulp culture, but I think the film Sinners really delved into appropriation well. Now, I say film, is that like a documentary or is it like a fictitious movie? But that's the subject of the movie. Black Indigenous people of color. Okay. Thank you. I wasn't sure, sweetheart, but it would be tone deaf to talk about Yeah. Okay. I'm connecting the comments now. And I don't know anybody in our community. I mean, there's Jackie B, but I don't know if Jackie B would be able to participate. I don't know if she's. I think the feather thing isn't fair when they have pens that use feathers and you are allowed to own them. I know, Audra. It's. I would think. I mean, it may not seem fair to us. And this is not me judging at all because I understand there are things that are said to me that get my hackles up and things when it comes to culture and me feeling like, well, just because I'm this, color, why can't I, if it's done respectfully, do this? So for me, it's with the native people, the indigenous people, they lost a hell of a lot. Um, yeah, and they still continue, having the government and people encroach on their reservations because they were moved out of their lands. And, it's, Shan was watching something, and maybe he might want to join on a conversation. I'm not sure. But a documentary that showed how every culture in this world, almost every culture, maybe just rephrase that, has experienced slavery and oppression. The native peoples, the African black peoples, especially here with America. There was a time in history with the Irish when they were enslaved by the British. I mean, there's just been so much inhumanity that has been put on everybody. I mean, it's just I'm surprised our race is still here. I really am surprised. Yep, understood. Got that. And Kristen says, haven't seen the movie yet, but I would love to. Find people who practice a traditional spirituality like hoodoo, which is a Black American folk religion. I learned about hoodoo. I didn't read it, but there was a woman that was one of the not editor. She was a columnist in Sage Woman, and she's got a book out, Bones, Stones, Songbird or something in her name. I mean, the book looked really good. And back then, none of that was what had been brought up, the advertisement in the magazine. So, and this is going back like almost 15, 20 years ago. So a lot has changed in this world. Unfortunately, it hasn't been very good, especially with social media platforms like TikTok and especially TikTok, and a lot of others. Just the juke joint dance. Wow, Beth is really excited about that movie. Well, we'll have to keep an eye on it. Okay, so I should be grandfather. I have great grandfathers in Cherokee and Osage. Okay. I wasn't sure. That's why I was trying to be very, very respectful because I know several of my fellow subscribers or chatters have Native ancestry. Shan has Osage as well. Not a lot, so but still he has some of that, and I may have some of the Cherokee. Not sure, but to actually know that you had great grandfathers and you're not able to, it's some of that, a lot too, from what I have understood. Um, takes place on the reservations themselves. Like Desiree, who was coming in for a while, she was talking about the hypocrisy, the violence, the how do I say this? The she didn't feel safe. Even her own people. Um, so it just blows my mind how our race can be so kind and loving and humane, um, and compassionate and kind to one another. And then there's this whole other group of us, as not us, but aspects of us that are just downright, um, yeah, it's just amazing. It's virtue. Someone white in the crew says good morning because this is good. Wait a minute. Let me start. For example, Annie Bear runs the morning meditation a few days a week. Someone white in the crew says good morning, tribe, because she identifies with her indigenous past lives, but it bothers Annie Bear. Morning tribe. We refer to each other as a spiritual tribe here. I for me now see for me I don't see the harm in that, but again, I'm not of indigenous heritage like she is, but I know a lot of us in all chats and things, we all consider us, we're soul tribes, so we're not allowed to say which is why you say woo woo crew. But feathers are on the ground no matter the bird, and rocks and crystals too. Yeah. I mean, I pick up crow feathers when I see them. Again, I'm always respectful. I thank them for the beautiful gift when I do find them. And if I have anything on me, if it's just water, I leave a little bit of water as a libation. All of our cultures had violence and oppression. Yeah. But not saying that one is worse or higher or the other. We have all experienced that. And I can't imagine what, I mean, you guys know I don't go political on my channel, but when I heard about that 1-year-old boy in Mississippi, little black boy, and they shot that police shot and killed that little 1-year-old boy, knowing as they were shooting up that car that there was a child in there. Mm-mm. So yeah, it's still rampant. It's still, yeah, I guess Tom's still not cool to go to jail for a feather someone gives you or you find. Yeah, that I understand. Yep, low vibe. Sinners was good. I think it had its issues though. Okay, we'll have to find that. See if I can watch that. Shan watches just about any movie. See, we all have our different, yeah. And as long as it's from a place of respect, not like going and flaunting it and, and not being a Karen about it. You know what I mean? My ancestors, the Stiglers, enslaved Africans. I even have a purchase list of slaves. I remember you mentioned it on Facebook when you were mentioning Juneteenth yesterday and honoring those people that had been enslaved. My great-great-grandmother was Canadian Blackfoot. Wow. I got a notification I can go live on TikTok, and I know people who make money doing battles. Oh, yeah, this is that's not the platforms we should be having, and that's what people are buying into. They're feeding into it. I watched a 45-minute breakdown of all the cultural dances and symbols were in that dance sequence. Fascinating. I love watching the shawl dances that sometimes pop on my video feeds, the competitions of all the Native women that come out with their shawls and their jingle, and just beautiful. Right, Iron Horse, you would think you can till my ass is in jail, and the judge said I couldn't have them all. Jeez. This is where, I mean, I can't speak on the native part, but it is earth. I mean, you have ancestry. What more? Plenty of cultures at some point were tribal. The ancient Norse were tribal. So, yeah, we need to be able to come together, drop those shields, step away from the wall, and have those conversations with each other so we all understand and respect and just that juke joint scene. Everyone's talking about this juke joint scene. I mean, I don't like movies that are violent, or when I'm done watching it, I'm going to feel like shit afterwards watching that. Um, I have enough stuff that affects my emotional, mental health that I can easily de escalate into. Yep. Mm-hmm. And then there was that recent trial from last year when a young black man stabbed a white boy's. They were at a track meet, and he was from another school. He was in the bleachers or under a tent that he wasn't supposed to be, and this kid Austin kept telling him, "Dude, you're not allowed here. You know, you got to go. This is for." And he got angry. One push the other, and he goes, "What?" He goes, just like, "What's going on?" And he says, "Try something, see what happens." And this kid was name was is his name is leaving me right now, but reached into his backpack, pulled out a knife, and just stabbed the kid in the chest. I mean, and then during that trial, Carmelo was his name. That's stabbed and killed Austin, and of course, the media and them were all turned into black against white, when it was obvious it wasn't self-defense, and you had people on both sides calling each other racial slurs and stuff, and it's like, when is this going to stop? Yep, and I was corrected. I briefly dated an Asian man, and when I had used the word oriental he says, let me explain something new. And he asked me for not to use that. He goes, for some, they don't care, some, but he says, I'm Asian American, I'm not Oriental. I was like, okay. If I got mad at every person who had Asian stuff or said Oriental when talking about people, I'd always be pissed. It's a waste of energy. I choose my anger wisely. Kristen, what state? Mississippi. Yeah, that was in Mississippi. The woman was accused of stealing diapers for her 1-year-old. And she got in her car and she says, "No, I'm not coming out. I've got my receipt here. I did not steal these diapers." And then the minute one of the cops drew its weapon, she got scared. She drove forward to get away because she wanted to purchase. Yeah, I got a 1-year-old in here. She tried to pull away, and they said they accused her of driving into them or towards them, which they said in the video did not happen. She was not coming at them, and they just shot up the side of her car, knowing that there was a little 1-year-old black boy in there. She was vindicated for having a receipt for not stealing diapers, but she lost her 1-year-old son. I'm going to have to go soon. Hi, John. John Medeiros is here. Then don't watch Sinners. It's violent. Yeah, I can't do violent. Carmela, yeah, with a K. Yeah. Hey, John. So I'm going to have to. Oh, I got to do one more reading, Jax, and then I'll have to go. Let me just check something because I did get a message. I don't know if somebody is. What you doing? That was a while ago. Um, Here, let me pause myself. Let me mute myself for a second. Okay, because I have a friend who I think is going to be bringing over some. I have a friend here who lost her sister this year too, like I did. Her sister Lori died of cancer in February, and she has to watch her house while her husband's away. And apparently, she had bought canvas and stuff, and she asked if I wanted it instead of him throwing it out or burning it. So Jax, ooh, and then I will have to go. Wow. Did you see that, Jax? Night, Tom. Thank you, everybody. I don't I don't think I'm going to be doing a show tomorrow. I might, you never know, but I will be. I might even do some sicker feminine based readings for Letha tomorrow. I mean, on Monday for Sacred Feminine. So, Jax, blessings in disguise. So, even though, you know, some things may not look like, people with their masks, blessings in disguise. There are things that happen that we think, oh my God, how could this possibly be a blessing? But it turns out it is events, people in our lives. Yep, she's got some canvas for me. Um, so as we are looking at this, I think this goes again for all of us. Things that have happened in our past, things that we see as mistakes, bad things that have happened, events, even people, who ended up showing their true colors. All these can be a blessing in disguise. So trying to see past that veil, that mask and look for a divine test. You got the test card, look for a divine test. So this is kind of like a test. It's like, okay, time to find the blessings in everything that has gone on. Be open to blessings. Um, your top card is the Ten of Wands. You got a lot of burdens on you. There's a lot of heaviness. There's a lot of weight, and just making sure that the burdens, as always, that you carry are the ones that you want to carry, and they're not put there by others. And if you have a lot on your plate, um, you know, maybe putting down some of these, lightening your burden. The underlying energy again, and you got a Chariot for me last week or recently. The Chariot, just taking control. This is the root energy. You want to take control, taking control of the reins. Again, getting your health, your emotions, mental, everything all in balance, and being able to drive yourself forward, moving forward with your life. To do that, though, you're going to have to release some of those burdens, sweetheart. And while acknowledging that there's going to be blessings coming along your way on that road with the Chariot, and we kind of have to see them as a test. And I can even feel my heckles going, because none of us want to hear the stuff that we go through. Oh, you have to see, and I look at things and I'm like, no, I don't think so. But I did get a text message Um, I do have to go. She's got canvases for me. So thank you, everybody, for joining me. I will see everyone on Monday. Thanks again for the amazing conversations, as always. And have a good rest of your week, and we'll talk to y'all later.